Welcome to the tutorial on adding a new text to the archive. You can reach this page either from the Add New Text link in the top navbar, or from the Guest Editor homepage under Frequently Used Links. First, select the language of the text from the drop-down menu. Our example, which is made up, is in German. If you have a published source for the text other than a score, CD booklet, or liner notes, add 1 in the Verified field. Enter the author's surname or the beginning of it. If that author exists in the system, the name will appear in the autocomplete results. Select it, and the full name will be added in the format used by the archive. If the autocomplete is not working, or did not find the author's name, you can enter the ID number for the author just below. For Goethe, we can see this number is 993. If the author published this text under a pseudonym, you can add it here. And if there is any uncertainty or disagreement about attributing the text to this author, you can use the Attribution dropdown. If the text is still under copyright, or you are unsure about it, choose Yes next to Protected by Copyright. Occasionally, the text you want to add will have no title. In that case, choose the most appropriate reason for there being no title from this dropdown. Enter the title here. Note that composers often give their works titles that differ from those of the texts they were based on, so if the text comes from a score or CD booklet, we would leave this entirely blank, since we can't be sure. Our example text has a subtitle, so it goes here. If we did not have the text, but only the beginning of the text, we would put the first line here. Since we have the text in this example, the archive can extract the first line automatically, so we don't need to add it here. And here we add the text itself, preserving the line breaks that appear in the published version we're drawing from. Sometimes there are discrepancies or variations between versions of a text. Let's say we know of a musical setting in which a composer substituted a word or phrase in place of one of the authors. Place square brackets around the original text that is affected by the composer's change, open and closed. Then we want to include a footnote number so we can reference this specific change. We'll enclose the footnote number in what's called a superscript tag. We put sup, S-U-P, surrounded by angle brackets, then the number we want to use. Since there are no other footnotes yet, we'll use 1, and then /sup again, surrounded by angle brackets. Now we can add both a citation of the published source where we found the text and the footnote regarding the composer's change to the text. There is a bit of formatting style we need to follow here. Being consistent will ensure that the database works properly with the new material, and that your notes look right when they're displayed on a text page. Just as we enclosed the footnote number with superscript tags, we want to enclose our reference information in a paragraph tag, represented by the letter P inside angle brackets. Then we add confirmed with and the author's name as it appears in the publication. After a comma, we add the title of the publication enclosed in underscore tags, represented by the letter U. As before, the closing tag has a / before the U to indicate that the underscore should stop here. We add a comma, then the rest of the publication details separated by commas. The city where it was published, the name of the publisher, the 4-digit year, and the page or pages where the text can be found. Now that we're done with the citation, we close the paragraph tag that we opened on the previous line using /P surrounded by angle brackets. For the footnote, we leave a blank line, then enclose the footnote number in superscript tags just as we did in the text. After a single space, we add the composer's name followed by a colon and a space. Then, in double quotes, we add the word or phrase that the composer changed. And finally, let's add a line break tag at the end, just the letters BR surrounded by angle brackets. This ensures that our notes do not run up against whatever information follows on the text page. If you don't remember everything we just went over, don't worry. Written instructions on all of these steps, including formatting conventions and the correct HTML tags to use, can be found by scrolling down the page. All right, just a few fields remaining before we submit our new entry. Below where we left off, if this text were part of a text compilation, we could search for the compilation title or add the compilation ID. Remember, the texts that make up a song cycle are not the same as a text compilation for our purposes. Although a composer may set all of the texts that belong to a compilation, we treat the literary work as entirely distinct from the musical work. Continuing on. If we know the year the text was written, or the year of first publication, or the copyright year, we can fill those in. If we know the details of the first edition, we can enter those as well. This box will display the names of any editors who have made previous contributions to this text entry. Since we are adding a new text, no one has worked on it before us. The system will automatically add your name to the list, so you don't need to type it in. If you think anything about this new entry needs to be clarified for the editors who look at it afterwards, you can add notes here. Now we can look over our entry once more to make sure everything looks right, and then hit Submit. Seeing this page means the entry was successfully put into the system, where it can be reviewed and approved for inclusion in the archive. We can see the details of what we submitted by visiting this link. On this page, we can see everything about our new text: the submission number, the kind of entry it is, the language, title, text, footnotes, and so on. If you realized after creating the entry that it was a duplicate, this does happen sometimes. Select the button for Remove Please and click Submit. If the entry looks good but you spot a typo or need to add further information for other guest editors, you can enter it in the box below. Make sure the Leave This option is selected and click Submit. And that's how you add a new text. Thank you for watching.